Hello guys, welcome back again. In today's video we are going to learn how a proper users and group management is essential in Windows environment. Of course, we are going to be using Windows PowerShell to achieve our objective. Alright, so we are going to begin, of course, with a local account creation or local user account. Alright guys, to begin, I'm going to be opening up the PowerShell CLI. I will be opening it as the administrator because some of the action that I will be doing requires some administrator privileges. All right. Okay. What we'll be doing here is, of course, getting to see some of the local users, how to create the users, modify them, disable and enable a user. All right. It should be straightforward something. Don't worry if this is your first time using PowerShell. It's going to be really simple, and don't worry. All right. Let's begin. Of course, to list all the local users in the system, we are going to use Get-LocalUser. Of course, you can auto-complete it. Yeah, these are the local users we have. We have the administrator user, of course. In this case, it is disabled. We do have one enable user, which is the ghost user. All right, so when I say who am I think it should be the ghost user in this case. All right, the first step would be to create a secure password or credential for the user. So to do that, I will create a password variable. Of course, you can call it password credential, but in this case, for simplicity case, I will call it a password, a variable called password. Then this place we are going to provide the figure. So the first step would be to, of course, create a variable for the credential. For simplicity case, I will call it password. In this password variable, we are going to be storing the actual credential of the user we'll be creating. So, all right. Here we type in the password. Correct. To create a new user, we use, of course, the command New-LocalUser. In this case, new. Here you can give it the name of your choice. In my case, I'll be calling it James. And there I will provide the password of the user. In this case, we are going to call it the password variable created. Okay, you have the option to give the full name if you want. Call him James. J, it's not important. And you can also give it a description if you're interested in that. I will call this one a demo user, and that should be it. All right, we now have a user named James. Is it enabled? True. Now we'll try to get every local users. James should be among them. Of course, we now have a new user, James. Of course, looking at the screen clearly, we can see some users are disabled. For example, the administrator user, the default account, and the guest user are not enabled. So you can actually enable those users. Of course, yeah, let's try that with the guest user. So to enable a user is a very straightforward step. So we are going to use the, of course, enable user command from the PowerShell commandlet. So yeah, Enable-LocalUser. The user in this case we want to enable is guest. Okay, let's verify. In this case, the guest user is enabled. Same goes, of course, we can also disable it. Here it is recommended to disable the guest user. It was just for a demonstration purpose, and of course we can also disable it by typing the same disable command. And the name is guest. All right, let's verify. Now the guest account has been disabled. If for a reason you no longer need the user, of course you can delete them. You have the possibility to do them through PowerShell as well. And if you want to remove a user, in this case I think the James user, we can do that as well. And the user I want to remove in this case is James. All right, if we try and verify, it is gone. I now have just the ghost user. Of course, if you want to learn more, you can use the help menu from PowerShell. You can use the get help, then the command, in this case Get-LocalUser. There are several help commands that you can use. I highly recommend you go through them and play around and see what you can find. Moving forward, we are going to look at group management. Okay guys, before we begin with the local group management, a quick definition of what a local group is. Of course, a local group is a collection of group of user accounts so that they can be managed easily. For example, easier permission management and a simplified way of administering users, right? Okay guys, with the local group management, first let's get an idea about what group we have locally. So to do that, we can also use the of course get local group. Right, so let's see what we have. As you can see, we have the access control assistance operators and their descriptions, and we also have the administrator groups. Of course, the administrators have a complete and unrestricted access to the computer and domain. We have some other interesting group, for example, the remote desktop users. Of course, members in this group are granted the right to log on remotely, and it is also possible to inspect a specific group and see what users belong to them. All right, so in this case, the remote desktop user group is really interesting to me. So let's look at let's see its members, if it currently have members or not. In this case, the group name is the remote desktop user. As we have seen, currently there are no users. Of course, we can add a user of our choice. I do have a test user I recently created, so I'll be adding it to the group. And the member all right, it has successfully added the user, so let's confirm. Yeah, right now we do have a user, the test user, which is part of the local group now. Of course, you are not limited to the default groups. You can add any group of your choice. In this case, I will demonstrate how to create a custom group. All right, so let's do that. A new local group. Yes, and you have the possibility to name it whatever you want. In this case, I will be calling it Red Teamers. And you can give it a description. for pen testing team. All right. Currently the group it's emptied. It has no member. You can actually add member to the new group like we have seen before. And in this case, we'll be adding a member to the red team group. And the member we are adding, I think, is the test user. All right, let's make a quick verification. Of course, let's get the local group member. We have the red teamers, and let's see what users belong to the group. All right. As you can see, we have the user is part of the test user. Of course, is part of the group red teamer. Now, as well, we can also remove the group. In this case, the group is really not needed right now. Let's remove the group as well, along with the user. Okay, it's successfully removed the group red teamer. We can also verify that. We no longer have the group red teamer. In this video, we were able to learn some of the basics of user accounts and group management. And if you find value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. See you again next time. Have a great day.